First time that the National Futsal Series has been to this venue this season. And the referee on the far side blows his whistle, and we are off and underway with Bolton kicking from left to right as we look at it in this first 20 minutes. Hudson across to Tobin. Intercepted though by Laura Ingram, wearing the number 13 shirt for the Aztecs today. Emily Hutton takes that kick in, and immediately we see use of the goalkeeper in the attacking half, with Joy Lowe stepping forward in that position. Hutton though with a loose pass. Ingram, now Povey, breaks away over halfway, but just took a heavy touch at the crucial moment, and Alicia Povey runs the ball out of play. That certainly is something that I'd imagine Stuart Cook would ask of Joy Lowe, though, to offer herself as an option on that far side from those sorts of kick-ins as we see the game progress. Saylor picks a great ball forward there. It bypassed all four of the Bolton defenders. Didn't come to anything in the end because Lowe was alert. Excellent execution on the cutting ball through, though. Foster. Straight into the arms of Saylor, and she's away over the halfway line, but it's a loose touch, poor one from Povey. Southampton again with all bodies back behind the ball, defending their half-court block. So a hopeful lofted pass forward in search of Emily Hutton, but was asking too much of her to control. Hutton with the header that time, takes it back to the goalkeeper, and receives from Lowe to start this Bolton attack again. Nice pass round the corner to Hutton. Good sliding challenge though from Kaylee Tonks. Did really well there, Kaylee Tonks, but then just ran out of room on the near side across the blue lines, which are the only important ones to look out for today. Bolton kicking, Hutton takes it back. Foster. Foster again, good touch out of her feet. Tried to pick the forward pass to the captain, Laura Tobin, but it wasn't quite on the mark that time. First couple of minutes played, it started fairly evenly, Bolton perhaps just shading the possession. Here we'll see Southampton, as Bolton did with their goalkeeper, bring Lauren Saylor into play. Something that both teams will try across the course of the 40 minutes. Povey here takes that kick in short to Moody. Kaylee Tonks clips it up in search of Povey again, but the goalkeeper got there first. Bolton tried to come away on the counter-attack, but far too much on that pass. Hutton's header is more up than away, but then Foster does well subsequently. Bolton with bodies streaming forward both left and right here. Happy though to just maintain possession. They look to increase their control and stamp their authority on this game. Foster is deflected, and Hutton will settle for the corner. She impressed last time out for Bolton, Emily Hutton. She's rewarded with a starting place in their starting five today. There's three in a line here waiting for the corner delivery. It did go back to Tobin, but her left-footed strike was always rising. Bolton will need to switch on because Southampton are immediately away down the other end of the court. Tonks then though with a heavy touch. It was good play initially from Povey. Been the case far too often this season though for Southampton, really, when they've got into that attacking half of the court, attacking third even, and the final execution, just that all-important pass to unlock the defence or the final finishing touches to fire the net have been lacking for them on too many an occasion. Low rolls that one short to Tobin. Still 0-0. Yet to have the game's first real opportunity. Hutton. Back around the corner to Hutton, and it's blocked away well by Moody. Out for another Bolton attacking kick-in. Hutton back to Foster and across to Lowe. It's well one back though for the Aztecs, but just miscued by Pogan, I think it was, who's ended up down in a heap on the deck. Kobe looks in some trouble here, which is never a good sign, and it would be a blow for Southampton if they were to lose her so early on. Receiving treatment from the physio at the moment. Hasn't quite had the goal-scoring impact that she would have liked this season for Southampton after joining from Reading Royals in the summer, but nonetheless an integral part to the way in which they like to play. Povey off the court on the far side and replaced, at least for the time being, as we get back to the action. Saylor sends it long, all the way down court, but only to Lowe. Tonks there running out of room. I think it's fair to say it is a fairly narrow court compared to perhaps some of the others that Tier 1 series has been to this season so far. Last touch there off Kaylee Tonks, so Bolton's Kirsty Corral, who's on, takes that kick in. Joined from Cheshire mid-season after their withdrawal from the women's Tier 1. Came not long after today's hosts, Manchester, actually withdrew from the women's Tier 1 as well, but hosting this weekend's event ahead of the men's Tier 1 games tomorrow. Corral. Bolton back to Corral, try to feed it back to Jay Bolton, and again Southampton will look to make use of a potential counter-attack opportunity. And imagine it's those sorts of moments that Southampton will be looking to take advantage of, and will probably be limited to in attack today. It stays 0-0. Good turn by Corral away from the first defender. Corral gets the strike in, and that's the first opportunity. It's wide of the near post. Saylor will restart from the goal clearance, but Kirsty Corral there causing problems for the Aztecs. Good turn, just not quite precise enough with the finish, but first chance to either side of fashion. Maidments, good ball through there to Kaylee Tonks, and it might have been going wide anyway, but Lowe taking no chances. It's a chance at either end. Excellent turn from Corral as we take a look again at the replay. Lashed the shot in, but Saylor, I'm sure, would have you know that it was covered. Tobin in search of Foster. Rebecca Tonks receives it back off Kaylee Tonks, and Rebecca Tonks is in here for Southampton and scores. Southampton lead 1-0. And it's their top goal scorer in Rebecca Tonks, who's on the mark again. Bolton, who've dictated much of the possession early on, find themselves behind, and Southampton hit them strong on the counter-attack. Excellent give and go between the two Tonks. And Rebecca Tonks never looked likely to miss. Bit of a lack of a celebration. I'm sure inside she'll be delighted with that. 1-0. This, though, Southampton will know still has plenty of life left in it. Still inside the first quarter of the contest. Southampton in games this season have gone ahead as well. haven't been able to ever hold on to that lead. Tobin's ball there into the centre, but it's gathered by Saylor. This is Moody, did that strike at arm? Certainly appeals for it, but the game was allowed to continue, and Corral, who was on the receiving end of those appeals, was on the receiving end of the pass as well, but couldn't get the follow-up pass right. Goal scorer Rebecca Tonks trying to play role reversal and send it back to assist at that time, but didn't quite come off. There's Foster, looking to work the shooting angle perhaps. It was blocked away though in close proximity, and Foster will need to get back here. Bolton with two bodies ahead of the ball. Southampton just slowing it down a little. Maidment, back though to Saylor now. Kaylee Tonks. Tonks allowed to advance. Poor pass though, straight to Bolton. Now Foster, Corral to the left and Bolton to the right. It comes across to Bolton. He just lost her footing at the crucial moment as she was outstretched trying to turn that one goal bound. 8 minutes played and it stays 1-0 to the Aztecs. Poor pass, straight into touch on the near side, and it will provide an opportunity for Bolton to change all four. Stuart Cook opting for that strategy of substitutions. So fresh four onto court, and let's see if this four can make the desired impact. Hutton back on for Bolton. Will be a kicking. Set short for Corral. Turned away well by Saylor. It's another attacking kick in, this time from the left flank of Bolton. Another opportunity to test the goalkeeper perhaps. Back to Hutton, but the referee on the far side not happy with the overzealous nature of the block. It's the first foul of the game which goes against Bolton. And Lauren Saylor, the goalkeeper, happy to come out and take that free kick. Seems a little wasteful though in my eyes that the goalkeeper's taken the set piece from inside her own half, especially for a side who like to use their goalkeeper as much as Southampton do. A broken free this time though. Tonks, well held up by Hutton. Southampton kick it. It's hat clear, but out of play again now on the near side. Leah Harris will take this one for Southampton. Taylor this time allowed to venture forwards. This is the goal scorer, Rebecca Tonks. Sends it forward down centrally, and it's out of play off Jesleen last. Nearly 10 minutes played. Nice ball up and back to Maidment. Leah Harris, it was, I beg your pardon, not Amy Maidment, who had that strike on goal, just stung the palms of the Bolton goalkeeper, and there's an opportunity perhaps at the other end. It's blocked away though quickly. Corral does get the kick in. Game just beginning to open up after what was a cagey start, but that Southampton goal has made way for a bit more room for both sides when in possession. Saylor had to judge that one right and did superbly well. Saylor, good pass across to Harris, but Harris only with a tame side-footed ball straight through to Lowe. Can Bolton hit back then? Corral. Side-footed goal bound by Hutton, but a couple of yards wide of that right hand upright of Saylor. It's another kick in for Southampton to be taken by Tonks again. A long diagonal pass, which is well controlled on the chest by Harris. Maidment back in search of Leah Harris. Corral looking to win the loose ball, but here's the goal scorer again. Tonks gets the strike in, but there were two black Bolton shirts there ready to block the ball away well. Kerry Sampson, one of those, wearing the number 6 shirt for Stuart Cook's side today, back involved for Bolton. Southampton's first corner of the game. To be delivered from that right side. There's a couple waiting centrally, and in the end it goes all the way back to Saylor. Maidments still not fully dealt with, and it's still there for Southampton. It's deflected goalwards and gratefully gathered in the open arms by the goalkeeper. Could have ended up anywhere though, really, after the ricochet on its way through. Great strength from Corral holding off the defender, but a subsequent pass didn't break the way of Hutton. Southampton looking to take it quickly, but they've done so illegally. Good call from the referee. Spotted there that the ball wasn't quite on the line. This was the subsequent opportunity that came from the corner. The kick-in, rather, I beg your pardon. Sent clear by Curtis. Tobin there close to the Southampton goal, but so was Lauren Saylor, who had a good starting position and read the danger well. 8 minutes 22 seconds left on the clock in this first half. It's the first of 2 games today being played in the women's Tier 1, with Hartpury and Helvecia following this one. Hutton. Good ball up, Tobin, back to Hutton. Bolton desperately in search of an equalising goal. Tobin with the armband on for Bolton. Hutton opposite to try to get the cross come shot in. I think it was an effort on goal, but it didn't reach there. Still a substantial chunk of time left to play in this first half, but if Southampton are able to get to the midway point with this slender 1-goal lead intact, it will be the first time that they have led at half-time so far this season. The best they've managed so far was a half-time goalless draw with Hartpury 3 games ago, but did go on to lose that game 3-0 in the second 20 minutes. That just goes to show really how their performance levels have perhaps not dipped, but become subject to fatigue. There's probably a better way of putting it in the second half of matches this season. Again, Southampton affording Bolton all the room of their own half. Up to Tobin. Tobin, good ball across. Trying to find some space again. Tobin wriggling free of the first defender. It's prodded goal bound by Lily Robinson, wearing number 7 for Bolton. And there's 7 minutes left on the clock. And then could Bolton be away on the counter? It's Foster. Foster opted to shoot for goal, and she had a couple of options also. Probably not the best decision there from Foster. She's back in possession now though. Cross to Tobin. Tobin, good ball up. It's blocked away well. Moody couldn't control, but Southampton survive. It's Kerry Sampson, who's actually involved for the first time this season for Bolton today. Tobin, Foster, Sampson just had to check back, but did pick up possession. Foster, it's goal bound, it breaks back for Robinson, edging closer to the Southampton goal. Tobin forcing the Southampton defence back. It's blocked away well though, and Bolton now back inside their own half. Southampton defence are holding firm at the moment. It's resolute defending from the Aztecs in their rigid defensive setup. Moody clips it forward all the way through to Kaylee Tonks. It's goal bound but just wide. Tonks is asking for a corner. Southampton, I think, are going to get it as well. Might have just taken the touch off the goalkeeper as she came out quickly to narrow the angle there low. Take a look again at the replay, it was hard to tell. Southampton did take a corner in the aftermath of that though, but it didn't come to anything. Lowe will need to restart with her hands, of course. Foster. Tobin holding off the defender well. Tobin, can she get the strike in? She can, it's 1-1. Southampton, as they have been so many times this season, pegged back from an early lead. And it's Laura Tobin, the skipper, who gets the all-important goal for Bolton. Just too quick with the footwork to shift the ball away from the Southampton defender and work the shooting opportunity. And as soon as she did, Southampton were in trouble. Back on level terms with just over 5 minutes left to play of this first half, but Bolton might be away again here. Bolton to the right, Tobin flicks it forwards, didn't have full control though. Tonks back to Sailor. Southampton will need to settle and ensure that that concession to level the game doesn't prove to lead to anything further. Go back to the opportunity that Kaylee Tonks had just a minute before for Southampton. What a turning point, what a big moment. In the greater scheme of things, that one could prove to be. Moody only straight to Rebecca Foster. Bolton against Tonks. Bolton in possession again. Foster didn't need to play that pass first time, but tried to do just that to find Tobin. Wasteful. Usually occupies the fixed role for Bolton, Rebecca Foster, when on court. Sailor again retreating back, and Nicola Curtis with the pass forward. Looks as though we're going to have a timeout here, called by Stuart Cook and Bolton, with 4 minutes and 3 seconds to be exact left on the clock in this first half. First half which has gone fairly quickly, to be fair. And 1 apiece is the scoreline. Laura Tobin's equaliser, cancelling out Rebecca Tonks' opening goal. I have to say though, I think Southampton will probably be the happier of the two camps at the moment. The onus in today's game is on Bolton really to take the game to the Aztecs and go and win this league fixture. Southampton almost in a situation now when they go into games with nothing to lose. I think their confidence will be, yes, of course, knocked from the equalising goal, but still quite high, given the way they've performed so far and the limited opportunities that they've held Bolton to. Bar the Kirsty Corral long-range strike, which whistled just wide. Bolton hadn't really had too many opportunities before Laura Tobin did find the net. Has been a game of relatively few chances so far. Back to the action then as it goes back to Foster. Hayley Tonks, crossover onto the far side. Curtis round the corner for Moody. Moody gets the strike in, but it's turned away at the near post by Lowe. Always has to be a good strike to beat Joy Lowe in the Bolton goal. That wasn't a bad one. Decent first touch, and it opened up for the shooting chance. No other option, it was certainly worth an effort. Full second count there being threatened, but Southampton did manage to just take it in time. Southampton get the decision for the kicking. Saylor, long ball up there to Nicola Curtis. Just found some space in behind the Bolton back line momentarily there, Curtis. Here she is again. Essentially 2v2 here for Bolton if they can work it right with Jay Bolton, but Moody was positioned correctly to intercept. Two minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock in this first half. Moody takes the kick in there back to Saylor, back to Curtis, beg your pardon, with Saylor across on the far side. Here, Lauren Saylor is in possession. It's dangerous though, and she's forced to retreat back to goal quickly. Here's Tobin, the Bolton goal scorer. To Curtis, Scotswoman, over on the far side with that block to get out of play. The referee with the 4 second count, counting towards the Bolton goal. Bolton with the kick in was slightly confusing. Hutton, space to advance forward here, Hutton. Blocked away there by Moody. Hutton made the subsequent contact, but straight through to Saylor. Here's Tonks, up to Kaylee Tonks, Rebecca Tonks again. One of those two always seem to be involved for Southampton when they are in possession, and the limited spells of possession that they've been allowed like this. Southampton here just trying to draw Bolton out. It's almost a game of cat and mouse, and who will blink first. Bolton get the kick in. Does seem to be a slight tweak though in defensive structure for Bolton since that timeout minute. Dropping off a little deeper. Low though here forward to join the attack. Hutton. It's well wide. She hasn't yet had the impact on the game that she did in the previous fixture. Last time out for Bolton. They had to adapt last time when Vito Bambini was shown a first half red card. for speaking out of turn. Set back by Corral, but wasn't quite on the same wavelength as those behind her. It's goal bound by Tonks, who's asking the question of the officials for a corner and gets the decision as well. It'll go down as a really good stop from Lowe. You can see the intention there from Corral, but it wasn't quite executed correctly, and in the end proved problematic as Southampton were set away on the counter. That's a really good stop from the Bolton goalkeeper. Curtis places the ball on the line, but it wasn't stationary. It's a lacklustre, unforced error really, right beneath the nose of the referee on the far side. Into the final minute of this first half. That's poor though from Hutton. She's giving the ball away. Bolton managed to recover the situation with Tobin, although she's then been dispossessed. This is Kaylee Tonks. Tonks goes on. It's another good stop from the goalkeeper. That's a couple of times now that Joy Lowe has been forced to come to Bolton's rescue. It's a scrappy situation again for Bolton in the centre of the court, not dissimilar to the one prior when Corral set back and nobody was there. Just need to tidy things up though, you sense Bolton. It's not really clicking, not flowing for them the way that it sometimes does so far today. Harris dispossessed by Hutton. Good challenge. Hutton's away on the counter too. But between Saylor and her closest Southampton defender, they had the situation covered. 20 seconds up to Hutton. Forward for Tobin if she can bring the ball beneath her spell. She does get the kick in. Referee just ushering the Southampton defence back the required distance. Tobin turns away. Tobin rounds the goalkeeper and Moody's back behind her. Well, it would have been a hearts in mouths moment for Southampton momentarily as Laura Tobin seemed to wriggle free somehow from the corner of the course. Certainly sold the goalkeeper, but Moody was back behind her. Hutton straight through to Saylor, and that will be that for the first half. It's one apiece at the midway point going into the interval of the opening game of the weekend's action, live from the National Cycling Centre in Manchester. Bolton 1, Southampton 1 is the scoreline after the first 20 minutes. We'll have the second half coming up after the break.
Don't forget, we've got game 2 this afternoon taking place here in the National Shopping Centre. London Helvecia taking on Hartpury Futsal. That game will kick off after the conclusion of game 1.
Yeah, you got the S&Q right there, look. Okay, our teams are ready for the second half here. Bolton Futsal 1, Southampton 1. Second half coming right on now.
Welcome back for the second half of the first game of the weekend in the FA National Futsal Series. We are live in the Women's Tier 1 side of things from the National Cycling Centre in Manchester. It's one apiece going into the second half. Goals in that first period from Southampton's top goal scorer in Rebecca Tonks to give them a slender advantage, but they were then pegged back by a Laura Tobin equaliser. 20 minutes of this one ahead then. Let's see which way the tide will turn in this second half. Southampton in this second period kicking from left to right as we look at things from the main camera position. Kaylee Tonks just in a bit of a sticky situation, but Moody on hand for the follow-up pass. Southampton get the kick in. I do think they would have been relatively happy with that first half, Southampton. I think the message from manager Will Wilson and his assistant Sean Dye at half-time would probably have been more of the same, please. Continue defending the way they have, and with that, opportunities will come on the counter. Kicking there is slightly unorthodox. Don't see that type of kicking too often. Probably because it wasn't very beneficial in truth. Moody back to the goalkeeper Mo Delaney, who was on at the start of this second period for Southampton. Much trust shown in the young replacement Southampton goalkeeper, Captain Lauren Saylor, amongst the substitutes at the moment. She, though, is another goalkeeper who is happy to come out and add to the rest of the team when in possession, play as a fly goalkeeper or be used as an outlet from deep kick-ins. Around the corner that one goes for Jess Lean in attack for Bolton. Her minutes were limited in the first half. Delaney there goes short. Foster with the last touch off her head. just in conversation with the goalkeeper there as to whether perhaps a call might have allowed that one to bounce all the way through. As it is, Bolton do concede the kick in. Curtis places the ball on the line for Tonks towards the second post, and it wasn't far away from where Rebecca Moody was arriving. Just came in at that back stick a second too late there, Rebecca Moody, but it was a nice idea from that kick in. Moody there pressing high, and Southampton have come out in the second half with a seemingly more aggressive style of defence. Maybe there is a change to tactic then in the second half for them, and perhaps not just quite more of the same, as they look to grow their influence even further on this closely fought contest so far. First foul of the second half going against Southampton. Tobin just perhaps lost her bearings. It's given away there though to Foster. Tobin. Foster. Into Tobin, good save from Delaney. Did really well there, the replacement Southampton goalkeeper. Delaney got down quickly, textbook split save stop. Tobin took it on first time, it was destined for that bottom corner, excellent save. That will give her some confidence going into this second period. Brilliant stop. Tobin round the corner for Lean again, but her opposite number 4 in Rebecca Moody was on hand to see it out. Kick in there is taken by Moody, back to Delaney. And up to Kaylee Tonks. Lean back to Foster, but again you can see the intent from Southampton to come out and press much higher up the court in this second half. With that, inevitably greater gaps will be left at the back. I don't think that's something which Bolton will be fazed by. Perhaps might even relish the opportunity to break through a high press and then exploit the gaps behind. Probably more accustomed to how they're used to playing. Tonks there with the shot goal ban, which nearly ricocheted through the legs of Lowe, but in the end goes behind for the corner. Southampton set piece then from this corner from the left. It's left by Tonks, allowed to run all the way back to Moody. Forward to Tonks again. It's nicely worked with the 3 in the line. Didn't quite come off those subsequently, and Tobin looking to kickstart the counter for Bolton. Forward here though to Kaylee Tonks. Again, that'll be a corner. It's a different style of corner set piece, and I'm not sure Nicola Curtis was the wisest option to be on the receiving end of an aerial ball like that. Probably the smallest player on the court. Sampson across there to Emily Hutton. Hutton over to Tobin. Bolton. Across to Kirsty Corrali, as I beg your pardon, on the far side. Playing in a similar role to Laura Tobin as she does when on court for Bolton, in the pivot role. Likes to play with her back to goal in similar style to Tobin. So loose pass that time from Hutton, and an unforced error. Best chance of this second half was one for the side who trailed in that first period, Bolton, and an excellent stop. Chance at the other end for Kaylee Tonks, and she stayed down here, Kaylee Tonks. Which is a concern for Southampton, but that was a decent chance. It was all very scrappy again, with Hutton being dispossessed and Kaylee Tonks on the end of it. Would have been a very scrappy goal had it found its way in, but I'm sure Southampton wouldn't have minded a touch. Still though, the best opportunity of this second period. That chance for Bolton when Mo Delaney made the stop. Corral bearing down a goal, across it goes. And Tonks was in there to make the block. Excellent defending. He's been in the walls a little in the last couple of moments, Kaylee Tonks. Corral just found space down the left flank, did excellently well to break away from the pressure of Moody. Final touch just wasn't quite there as Tonks slid in to make the all-important block. 5 played now in their second half. Corral again will turn and face up goal bound. Face up goal bound, and it's another good save in close proximity from Mo Delaney, who's been called into action probably more than Lauren Saylor was in the entirety of that first half, in the little time that she's been on since half time. Delaney in possession. Southampton worked that nicely. Maidman couldn't quite catch it though. Hudson with a heavy touch into the attacking half. Corral sets it back for the strike from Bolton. It was off target and behind for the goal clearance, which the goalkeeper's taken long down court quickly. Certainly seems to be an increase to the intensity though in the second half. It's a 4-second count which has been pulled up there by the referee on the far side. It's another unforced error. Southampton with the kick in, again the referee counts in the opposite direction. It's cleared away by Emily Hutton. Maidman leaves that one for Moody. It's blocked away though by a combination of Corral and Jay Bolton, who was there too. Corner for Southampton. It was just wayward of Corral, and the follow-up strike was goal bound, but turned behind again for the corner by Lowe. Had to be alert. It was a save which she would probably expect to make, but it needed saving. That one straight at the goalkeeper, and Lowe will kickstart this counter. Corral away from Ingram. Excellent footwork. Silky feet from Kirsty Corral to evade the initial pressure. Sampson, her pass didn't find any of her teammates. Fairly even contest now. And it's even on the scoreboard too, 1-1 between Bolton and Southampton in the women's top flight of the FA National Futsal Series. Southampton looking desperately to pick up their first points of the season, which might just kickstart a late season revival for them. They're going in search of Hartpury, who we'll see in action later. Hartpury on 8 points so far this season. Bolton take that one quickly with a Southampton player off the court on the far side, but she's back to her feet now and in possession. Bolton didn't take advantage. They tried to, but again it was the execution that let them down. Both sides appealing for it, asking the question of the referee on the near side, and it goes Southampton's way. Moody takes control of the situation. Ingram pressure from Corral, who has been a bright spark, a live wire today for Bolton. Back involved again for them, having missed out the last few weeks. Referee thought about blowing up there to overturn the kick in, but in the end took a lenient view. Maidman couldn't feed the ball across to Moody. Does though get the kick in. Harris. Up to Ingram, she prods it goal bound, and Laura Ingram agonisingly close there for Southampton. Very nearly restoring their lead. Ingram just found space there in behind Bolton's defence. That will be a concern for Bolton. One pass was allowed to cut straight through them like that, but maybe had more time than she realised, Ingram. Here's Hutton though for Bolton. Hutton, oh, it's against the post. Well, agonisingly close for Southampton at one end, and likewise for Bolton at the other. Both sides coming very close to scoring the game's third goal. But as it is, it stays at one apiece. See the reaction from Kirsty Corral, who knew just how close that was. Again, the referee on the far side lenient with the decision to allow what looked to be a moving ball, in truth, to continue from that restart. Corral, good turn, Corral goes for goal. Oh, it's against the post again. That's twice now that Bolton have struck the woodwork in the last minute or so. It's all action here now. Maidman away from Foster. Only out for the goal clearance, but Bolton coming closer and closer as this game progresses. Maidman there, held up well by Hutton. That time the referee does opt to overturn the kick in. It was a moving ball, as it wasn't placed correctly on the line on the far side. 9 minutes gone in this second half, and we're still as we were at half time. Just the one foul as well so far, incidentally, in this second half. We only had one foul in the first half also, which is perhaps surprising for a game which has been so closely contested. Take a look again at that latest Bolton opportunity. Corral with an excellent turn and shot on the spin. That one definitely had the goalkeeper beaten. Relatively similar squad sizes today, by the way. Southampton with one more available as a substitute option. Across it comes though here to Corral, and that's 2-1. A really well worked Bolton goal. And Corral is on the end of it to just nod home the simplest of finishes. Cross it went to Kirsty Corral. And it's a simple header home, 2-1. And Bolton have spun this game on its head. Southampton can't say that the warning signs hadn't been there for them. They had. Bolton having twice struck the woodwork in quick succession. That time managed to find a way through. That will be a nerve settler for Bolton. They'll feel much happier about things now. The onus swings the way of Southampton to now be the side who take the game to their opponents and try to break them down. But Bolton, I'm sure, are after a third, which would give them some breathing room. Oh, and it has gone in, and it's taken a touch off the goalkeeper. Delaney wasn't able to keep it out. Well, it was a strange goal. Rebecca Foster with the strike goal bound, not one that the goalkeeper will want to see back. Foster's long range strike, and it seemed to evade the goalkeeper Delaney. And I think the expression on the face of Rebecca Foster shows the bemusement as much as anyone else was surprised that it managed to go all the way through. But that is the third goal that Bolton wanted. 3 that they've scored now, and it's a cushion on the scoreboard to put distance between the two teams. Could Southampton here hit back though? It's Kaylee Tonks. Around the goalkeeper. Tonks, is she fouled? Taken to ground. And it will be an opportunity for Southampton. As we take a look again at the replay. Looked to be inside the penalty area. And the yellow card there shown to Libby Wright. The foul was indeed inside the penalty box, so an opportunity from the 6-metre mark for Rebecca Moody to strike this goal bound, although it looks as though a timeout is going to be called by their boss. I don't think the Southampton players actually want to take that timeout now, but they reluctantly do so. We will resume with a penalty kick. Not often that's the case after a timeout, but a big juncture, an important juncture of the contest now. 3-1 is the scoreline to Bolton, but it's unlikely to stay that way for much longer. Rebecca Moody was the player who placed the ball down and looked likely to take the 6-metre spot kick. If they can draw it back to 3-2 here, then it really would be game on again. There you can see the Bolton camp under instruction from Stuart Cook, who will be back here tomorrow with his men's Tier 1 side. They'll be looking to bounce back after defeat to Wessex last time out. Confirmation of the Libby Wright yellow card. Her first involvement really as the replacement Bolton goalkeeper, there to concede this spot kick. So it will be Moody to strike for goal from 6 metres. I'd imagine there'd be plenty of power behind the strike as well. It's Moody against Libby Wright, who stays on in goal. And Moody strikes it goal bound and finds the corner. 3-2. And game back on. Precise with the placement of her penalty. Rebecca Moody adds her name to today's score sheet. 3-2. Fired all the way through. That time Delaney did manage to block the ball away. 9 minutes just over left on the clock. As Bolton, having taken the advantage, are now the team who are pegged back themselves. 7-2 was the score to Bolton the last time the two teams met. Still, of course, a possibility for a repeat of that today, but Southampton now with the momentum in their favour. Here's Foster though for Bolton. Foster just running into traffic though. Foster kept the ball in play but was then dispossessed. And it ricochets last off Lily Robinson. It's happened a few too many times really when the game's just become a little bit scrappy in the middle third of the court from the perspective of both teams really. That time Tobin uses her strength well to break through. Oh, if the goalkeeper is off the bar, and Delaney is there to make the save on the follow-up to palm the ball away. Well, it would have been some goal had it rippled into the back of the net. Intricate. Here's the way in which Tobin went for goal. Lofted the ball over the goalkeeper, but only against the crossbar. That's 3 times now that Bolton have struck the woodwork in this second half. And on another day, they might have had double the 3 goals that they've managed to score. Long range strike. That time isn't as fortunate as the previous Rebecca Foster one was. It was on target from Foster, needed saving, wasn't saved. Tobin. Tobin away from Tonks, and Rebecca Tonks seemed to momentarily stop there. It's 4v3 for Bolton in attack. Foster blocked away. Good turn though here from Tonks, and the support up to the right in the form of Ingram. Ingram though wasn't used, and I think Tonks should have played the pass. Here's Corral on the attack for Bolton. Corral, 4-2. Well, that's how quickly this game can change. An opportunity for 3-3 at one end. And just like that, Bolton go down the other, and Kirsty Corral makes it 4-2. Her second of today's game. As we take a look again at the replay, Tonks with Ingram to the right. Didn't play that pass, it was saved away. And in not finishing the move, Southampton were left in a 4v2 really. Excellent finish, take nothing away from the quality of strike from Corral. Bolton restore their 2-goal lead. Hutton across here to Robinson, it might get even better for Bolton. Good tackle though. Curtis up to Rebecca Tonks. Curtis is to the left. Tonks, good challenge, no foul. Hutton bursts forward. Good tackle that time from Hannah Walker, wearing 11, who's on for Southampton. But again, it just hasn't quite gone Southampton's way. After a promising start, they did take the lead. They had opportunities to make it 2-0 as well before Bolton made it 1-1. And in the second half, that big moment with the opportunity at one end to level it up again. And Bolton taking advantage at the other to make it 4-2. That's why it's so important that the decision making is right in those sorts of opportunities. Maybe just a rush of blood to the head of Rebecca Tonks, but well, the referee's whistle's gone there for a foul against Hutton, and she's clearly not happy with the decision. Hutton, I think, arguing her case that the Southampton pivot had her arms in grasp of the Bolton defender. Referee didn't see it that way. Rebecca Tonks across to Walker. Wasn't target, needed saving. Here's Tobin. Runner to the right and left here with Robinson. Hutton. 2-1 is the foul count now in the second half against Bolton. Just over 6 minutes left to play. Delaney kick-starts the counter-attack. It's a good pass as well if Curtis can catch it, but she just couldn't quite get there. Just overcooked in the end from the Southampton goalkeeper, but it was a nice idea. There's still life left in this game. Bolton are still not clear, but they'll certainly feel much happier about things now than they did in the opening 20 minutes, when things seemed so much more difficult for them. Poor pass from Hutton. Delaney that time did manage to feed it up to Leah Harris. This is Walker, left isolated at the back though, and can't use a goalkeeper. Can now after the touch from Tobin. Walker though happy to settle for the kicking. She did relatively well there, Hannah Walker, because she was left isolated at the back with all three outfield teammates higher up the court. It's not really advisable to leave a 2v2 at the back, never mind a 1v1. Hutton. Delaney pounces and again will charge forward. Overruns the ball though, manages to turn it goal bound, but I think she'll be maybe fortunate that she just overrun it, because Bolton might have had an opportunity with better control to break clear. and attacked the net, which was left empty. Timeout here called by Bolton, with just over 5 minutes left on the clock. And it's 5 minutes in which they will look to, I'm sure, see the clock down and run this game out to its conclusion. It looks as though Bolton are going to pick up the win, but there's still time for Southampton. If they can get one quickly, then they really would have their tails up, and maybe the momentum from there might swing in their favour. And you never know, lead to an equalising goal. Let's see how it goes in the remaining 5 minutes, before attention will turn to the 4 PM kickoff today, and this Saturday's play at the National Cycling Centre in Manchester. London Helvecia, their ladies team, hosting Hartpury women. We do, of course, have 4 games in store for you tomorrow in the men's Tier 1 as well. Be sure to join us for all of those. It will be London Helvecia and Bloomsbury who get us underway in the bright and early kick-off time tomorrow morning of 10 AM. A really tasty looking fixture to start tomorrow's games. For the time being, all eyes on the women's top flight. That's the loose touch back, which Houghton has to scramble back to reprieve. It's back though for Curtis. Southampton corner. They'll look to come out strongly from that timeout and increase the pressure on the Bolton goal. Lauren Saylor is back on, and Saylor there in fact makes the block. Risky, but it paid off. Maidments, just too much on it though for Harris to catch. It's out of play on the far side for the Bolton kick. Houghton here just taking time with the ball inside her own half. Southampton seemingly allowing Bolton that possession, but they'll be beaten by the clock if they are to continue to defend in a half-court strategy. We saw them at the start of the second half come out and try to press much higher, but it's an ultimatum for them here, and they've got to go for it. Houghton scrambling through a couple of Southampton challenges, and the last touch judged to have come back off Bolton's Emily Houghton. Here to Saylor. Saylor, nice diagonal. Curtis couldn't quite get there. Nice attempt though. Short it goes from the Bolton goalkeeper right. Both sides have used both of their goalkeepers across the course of this game. Here's Corral, who's been the star performer really for Bolton, and it's her brace which ultimately separates the two teams. The second and fourth goals for Bolton today, they've proved to be really big ones. You wonder if the case might have been different had she not been involved and back in the Bolton squad today as she is. Forward directly there to Corral from the kick-in. Corral back inside, but Maidment sets Tonks away. It has stayed in play. Referee on the far side, Jonathan Bruffel, better positioned to make that call. Of course, the whole of the ball has to cross the whole of the line, and wasn't really too many objections. Here's Saylor. Southampton will need to be quick about things now. Inside it goes for Tonks. Moody takes control, back to Saylor. Maidment. Tonks. Will just be the goal clearance with just over 2.5 left on the clock. Southampton, I'm sure, will give it all they've got, but how much have they got left? Given the intensity and efforts that they've put into this game already. Corral on a hat-trick now. Palmed away by Saylor. Again though, bright as ever, Kirsty Corral and another trademark piece of hold-up play. She's had the better of the Southampton defence. Solid Rebecca Moody as she faked to go one way and turn the other. Saylor rolls it short. Tonks. Smash clear into the spectator stand on the near side by the Bolton goalkeeper. Has featured in an outfield on-court role for Bolton this season as well. Libby Wright, but very much regularly a goalkeeper. It's another kick in here for Southampton, take 2, as that one was immediately blocked away. Short for Kaylee Tonks. Collected by Wright. Inside, but only to Tonks. Tonks gets the strike in, but it's gathered well by Wright again. Wright forward to Corral. It's good goalkeeping from Saylor. Read the danger really well there. The Southampton goalkeeper and captain just keeps her side in with a shot. Because another goal there for Bolton, and you'd have to say that would then be the 3 points wrapped up. Foster, deflected wide again. Corner again. That time taken short. Back to Foster. Just over 90 seconds left on the clock now, and Bolton, with every passing second that the ball's in play, edge ever closer to picking up what will be just their 3rd win of the league season. But it will take them on to 13 points after the adjustment was made to the league table with the points which were awarded to them for the fixture earlier on in the campaign, in which Bloomsbury fielded an ineligible player. To welcome 3 points for them, which, if they are to go on to confirm this victory here, will draw them level on points with Bloomsbury, albeit they would have played a game extra. Corral feeds it through that time. Oh, it's deflected. Goal bound by Tonks, and she had to get back to clear. Very nearly number 5 for Bolton. It was very nearly an own goal from Tonks. It would have been unfortunate, but again it came from Kirsty Corral. Really influential today for them. She's been at the heart of most things Bolton have done well. Kick and overturn, which is again another unforced error. Referees have given a couple of those in the second half, but there's probably a couple more that they could have given as well. Forward here to Saylor, who found herself in the opposition's penalty area. It's all or nothing now really for Southampton, but was that the last opportunity to spark a grandstand finale? Still Southampton will come forward, but it looks as though it's going to be 9 straight defeats for them in the top flight of the Women's Tier 1 this season now. Tonks. This is Corral with the net empty. Corral will go for it, and it drops just wide. Wasn't far away at all. Very nearly putting the icing on top of the cake with her hat-trick there. Here's Tonks, she's fouled, as she was for the Southampton penalty, which Moody converted to a free kick opportunity, and just outside the box this time. Kaylee Tonks lurking in the eyesight of the goalkeeper. Saylor is to the right, as is Ingram. Does come across to Sailor. She sidefoots it goal bound, but it's again another save from Libby Wright. Her tally of stops has quickly totted up since her second half introduction. Moody to the back stick, and it is in from Tonks. Well, there's 16 seconds left here for Southampton, and they might just have an opportunity to go on and find that fourth goal that they so desperately want. Well, it came from the set piece. It looked unlikely, but it's proved to be the route to goal. It's 4-3. Bolton send it long, it's out of play, and Sailor will restart. 11 seconds now, and Southampton really have their tails up. Forward towards Moody. 6 seconds, Southampton need to be quick. It's out of play. Bolton with the deep kick in and just 3 seconds left. They should be able to reset and get over the line. Just need sending long. Southampton again coming oh so close. That looked to be on the court, and Southampton on another day might have seen it overturned. As it is, there's the full-time whistle. Well, it was closely fought right until the very end, but in the end, it's Stuart Cook's Bolton side who come away with the 3 points. 4-3 the final score. Kirsty Carell with a tremendous display, a couple of goals to her name, which have helped Bolton on course to victory today. Southampton did take the lead in that first half. 1-1 it was at half-time, and very nearly coming close to bringing it back to 4-all at the end. But there's the full-time score. It does finish. Bolton 4, Southampton 3.
Okay, we're counting down to our second game this afternoon here at the National Cycling Centre. London Helvecia ladies taking on Hartpury Futsal. That game is kicking off at 4 p.m. National Cycling Centre. London Helvecia ladies taking on Hartpury. That is the ball to kick off. We've got players in the tunnel already.
Hello again and welcome back to the National Cycling Centre in Manchester for the second and final game today in the Women's Tier 1 of the National Futsal Series. It's London Helvecia who take on Hartpury. Well, already today we have seen one game played, Bolton running out 4-3 winners over Southampton Aztecs in the opening game today. Let's hope for just as many, if not more, goals in this one now. As you can see, the two teams making their way out onto the court. Let's take a look at how they both line up. For London Helvecia, they have Alicia Grimmond in goal. Emma Tune, Sasha Adamson makes her first appearance of the season. Rebecca Kemp likewise, and Priscilla Martins make up their starting team. The substitute is Lauren Beckford. So as you can see, a very small, limited squad for London Helvecia today, and it's even smaller for Hartpury. Just the 5 players available to Jack Tyson. Rebecca Panias is the goalkeeper, Sammy Holsworth, Jade Grove, Lauren Page and Amy Wathen. They all start, of course, and they'll all have to play the whole 40 minutes. Sammy Holsworth has the captain's armband on. So very depleted squads for both the two teams then. Notable names missing for London Helvecia include Arabelle Villa-Serene, Charlotte Gurr and Larissa Vieira. There's plenty missing for Hartpury as well. Kerry Walcott, Holly Rogers and Georgie Gresham, just 3 of those that miss out for Hartpury today. So your referees for today's fixture are first official Mark Patchell from FA of Ireland. Matt Bruffel is the second referee, and the timekeeper is Ollie Rodriguez Ballinger. Two captains here coming together in the centre circle with the referees pre-match. Helvecia, of course, in the blue, and Hartpury in all red. Rebecca Kemp wearing the number 9 shirt for London Helvecia today. She's making her Helvecia debut. Formerly, of course, of Manchester's women's team before they pulled out of the top flight after just one game this season. Good to see her back playing at, of course, Manchester's host event today. We will be here again tomorrow for 4 games in the men's Tier 1. A really tasty looking lineup of hard to call fixtures for tomorrow's action. Helvecia will be favourites going into this, but Charlotte Gurr will be a big miss. Hartpury, having only brought 5 players, is a boost for Helvecia. And then Helvecia with an opportunity to draw level on points with Birmingham at the top of the league table today. If they are to pick up 3 points here, they will go top of the table, joint top of the table, with 16 points from the 7 games played. Would need a swing of at least 10 goals though for Helvecia to mathematically finish at the top of the table after today's game. Wathen plays that one forward for Grove, early opportunity. It will be a corner. Alicia Grimmond came out quickly there wearing the number 5 shirt for Helvecia today. The goalkeeper for the London side. It's a corner from the right side then for Hartpury. Back it goes for Wathen. High and wide. Could hear the call from the goalkeeper, Panias, who came out quickly to gather that at the edge of her penalty box. Panias in goal today for Hartpury, with no Katie Christopher. Here's Tune with the captain's armband on for Helvecia. Across to Priscilla Martins. Tune again. Good ball up to Adamson, across to Kemp. Well blocked away. Hartpury might be away on the counter. Grove happy though to just hold the ball up and bring teammates into play. Walden across to Holsworth. Nicely cut out by Martin. It's been a fairly even start. Referee's whistle goes, and that's the first foul of the game. Hartpury with this set piece opportunity, just inside the Helvecia half. Walden again, dictating play across to Holsworth. Grimman did well. Hartpury here happy to allow Helvecia the space in their half of the court. And Tune obliges in bringing it up to Martins. Now Kemp. Cut out well by Wathen. Tune. This is Kemp. Kemp took the strike on from range. Would have taken something special to beat Panias from that sort of distance. She palms the ball behind for Helvecia's first corner. Kemp will shoot for goal again. It's blocked away though. You can see Jade Grove there for Hartpury. Such an important part of how they like to play. She'll have to have a big role to play today across the course of the 40 minutes. Is usually replaced and given time upon the substitutes bench, as the whole squad usually are. That's sent towards the back stick for Adamson. She feels as though she might have been able to reach that there.
Lauren, a little bit more, a little bit more. Go, Rebecca, more. In front.
Here's Kemp, running to the right as well. It's an opportunity, but straight at the goalkeeper. Wasn't quite kept in play. It will be a corner. It's Lauren Beckford, I beg your pardon, who's got the number 14 shirt on for Helvecia, named as number 3 on the team sheet, but definitely out there on court for Helvecia. Another one of those who have joined Helvecia from Manchester, playing here in Manchester in today's fixture. So that's also a change to the starting lineup. Sasha Adamson, it looks as though, is the starting substitute. I beg your pardon for the confusion between those two, forgive me. Long it goes forward from Panias there to Grove. Inside again, sent back by Lauren Page. Here's Holsworth. She's dispossessed though by Martins. There's a runner to the left as well in Kemp. Martins couldn't feed the ball across though. Wathen now forward to Grove. Back round to Wathen. Opportunity perhaps to shoot. She's urged to shoot and does, and scores. Hartpury here lead. It's Amy Wathen with the game's opening goal inside the first 4 minutes.
Number 30, Amy Wathen.
Great hold-up play by Grove. She managed to bring Wathen into play, and having wriggled free of the first challenge, she just slotted the ball through the legs of the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. Hartpury ahead. Helvecia looking to respond. They're giving the ball away though to Grove, who probably could have kick-started a counter there had she been more alert to it. Here's Kemp. Ricochets through back to Panias.
More aggressive, come on, let's go. Rebecca, vamos.
It was always going to be important for Hartpury today that they started strong. They will inevitably falter later on in the game with just the 5 players as they become increasingly fatigued, but they're sitting in their half-court block at the moment and doing it well. Adamson now, forward to Tune. Now Martins digs out the strike. Corner. Priscilla Martins, they're just going to retrieve the ball to take this corner for London Helvecia. Adamson shifts the angle, goes wide, and Tune was on the end of it, but was only able to trickle the ball wide of the near post. Page. Helvecia opposing in their style of defence, pressing high to win the ball back in a dangerous area. That one's deflected wide, having done just that. Helvecia take the corner quickly, but they are halted by the referee, who is just in communication with the referee on the near side to the picture, Matt Bruffel, who comes across to readjust the goalposts. Into Kemp. She wasn't able to turn and face the way of goal, though. It stays 1-0 to Hartpury. Pannia's going to slowly retrieve the ball. I'd imagine that Hartpury will take these sorts of opportunities as their rest periods, bar the timeouts that will inevitably come in a game like this with so few options, well, none for Hartpury from their substitutes bench. It's their only real opportunity for a period of rest. Here's the captain, Holsworth. Grove. Page. Last touch off her, though. Martins. Direct and straightforward to Sasha Adamson. Here's Kemp. Martin's here to take this kick in. Referee just ensuring that the Hartpury defence are back the required 5 metres. Martins, it comes all the way across to Rebecca Kemp, and quickly blocked away by Page. Tune. Martins. Adamson up to Martins. Martins was a cross-come shot with Rebecca Kemp coming in late towards the back stick. Take longer forward for Hartpury, up to Grove. Grove managed to keep that in play, did she? No, says the referee. It looked a tight call. Questionable as to whether the whole of the ball across the whole of the line there, but not too many complaints from Grove. The referee was well positioned to make the judgment. Martins just running into traffic there in the form of a couple of red Hartpury shirts. Adamson, she's held up again, and Hartpury at the moment are doing that every time Helvecia come forward. Holding them up well, disrupting well. And Helvecia struggling to progress forward and create opportunities that we, over not just this season, but seasons gone by as well, have become so accustomed to knowing from them. But this is a much changed team today. Martins. Kemp across to Tune. Martins lurking towards the back stick if Tune can find her. Adamson. Adamson managed to get the ball into the penalty area, but only straight back to the Hartpury opposition. Here's Adamson. Well held up again, that time by Holsworth. Tune trying to wriggle her way through. Forward here though to Grove. Well held up by Kemp. Double ricochet, took it back off Jade Grove and out on the far side too. Tune. Adamson kept the ball in play. Neat back heel to Tune. Tune advancing down the left flank. Then sent tumbling into the advertising boards behind the Rebecca Panier's goal, but it will just be the goal clearance. Lofted high, but well controlled by Tune. Here's Adamson. Kemp. Good block by Holsworth, now Grove. Grove happy to set that back, and Hartpury will look to build from the back again. Enrique Guillen seemingly demanding greater pressure, greater intensity and tempo from his side on the far side. The Helvecia coach has been consistently the London Helvecia ladies team coach this season, and we understand he'll be back in charge of the men's team tomorrow as well. Adamson, oh, good save. Had to react to that there, Panniers. It was an equally good strike as well, because Adamson did well to dig that effort out. The ball seemed to be somewhat beneath her feet. Yeah, well, it looked as though it was going in. Good stop. Tune. Here's Martins. Martins, just wonder whether Jade Grove's work rate has dropped off slightly a little. It's probably the stage of the game where she would usually be replaced. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see at least one of the teams look to use their timeout at the midway point of the half. That's a good stop by Grimmond. Grove did well to spin away from Tune. It was a good stop by the Helvecia goalkeeper.
Yeah. She's got shin pads on. Will you check?
Holsworth here with the corner. Tries to find Grove in the centre of the defensive setup, but Helvecia here are away on the counter. Beckford. Adamson breaks back for Beckford. Can she get the strike away? Beckford across again for Adamson. Oh, it's against the upright. Against the goalkeeper's right-hand post, and Hartpury survive. Only just, though, by the skin of their teeth. Very nearly back level. Sasha Adamson coming close to bringing the game to one apiece. As it is, it stays at 1-0. 9 minutes played now since the start of this one. Forward back to Beckford. Helvecia edging ever closer to the Hartpury goal. Beckford wasn't quite there for the return pass. And here it looks as though we will have a timeout. And it's going to be called by Hartpury and their head coach Jack Tyson. But so far so good for the side of just the 5 players today. And going into it, even if they had their regular players to make up a greater depth of squad, would also have still been the underdogs. And there is still, of course, a very long way to go. Helvecia won't panic at all. But Hartpury looking to pick up 3 points and go in search of Bolton. It's 3 points which, if they can find it today, Hartpury would take them on to 11. And that will be 2 points behind both Bolton and Bloomsbury then, with Bolton having picked up the win earlier on against Southampton. Just a run through of tomorrow's fixtures for you in the men's top flight. London Helvecia and Bloomsbury will get the games tomorrow underway in what looks to be a really tasty first game tomorrow at 10 AM. Bolton will face Loughborough in the subsequent fixture. Wessex, off the back of their first win, their first points of the season, will take on our hosts Manchester. And to round off tomorrow, we will have York Vikings and Hartpury's men's team. Jack Tyson, the Hartpury coach, will be looking to make an impact in that one tomorrow. So then we will restart with the Hartpury kicking, with Hartpury having called that timeout. Sure, it was a much welcomed rest for both sets of players. Grove through the legs of Martins, but couldn't quite find the captain Holsworth. It's out and behind again, and I think the referee has indicated for a corner here, which seemed to take everybody by surprise. Hartpury was set up back inside their own half. The referee spotted something that the players didn't. Seemed sure. Here's Adamson. Adamson, though, running into traffic. It's a good challenge by Wathen, the Hartpury goal scorer. Wathen away from Beckford initially, then just run out of room. Trickled the ball over the near sideline. Beckford there to Tune. Tune up to Martins on the turn. It was an important touch by Amy Wathen back there, showing the other side of her game for Hartpury. On the score sheet at one end and preventing Helvecia from doing that at the other. Holsworth sold her teammate slightly short there as Lauren Beckford looked to pounce. Hartpury got away with that one. Quarter of the game gone now. Just the one foul so far. Incidentally as well, that one went against Helvecia. We know how quickly that foul count can sometimes grow, but it doesn't seem to be a game in which it looks likely either side will threaten the sixth foul and subsequent 10-metre penalty. It's been played at a relatively slower pace, which is understandable given the depleted squads that both teams have brought. Long from Panias. Beckford, though, will see that one out and behind. Brimman dishes that one long for Martins, who had time to turn. Martins is an option here again as well. Martins, 1-1. Helvecia hit back. And Priscilla Martins draws the game level. One apiece.
Number 11, Priscilla Martins.
Priscilla Martins, who was influential in the move prior to the subsequent finish, on hand as well to turn home. 1-1. Helvecia will feel that they deserve that. They have dominated possession, dictated play. Hit the post as well, remember. Panny has made a good stop too to deny Sasha Adamson. Helvecia now with the all-important momentum. Tune, nice ball up to the goal scorer Martins. Tune then though dispossessed, and like her, Page, runner to the right is Holdsworth. Here she is now in possession. Holdsworth! Well wide if the goalkeeper's left hand upright, the near post though. Tune. Challenged by Grove. Tune up to Martins. Martins on the turn, it's gone in. Priscilla Martins with 2 goals in the space of as many minutes.
Priscilla Martins.
And just like that, London Helvecia have managed to turn this game around. Excellent lofted pass through by the skipper Tune. Panias did all she could to desperately try and keep it out. But that's a brace for Martins. And Helvecia now certainly in the driving seat. The onus now on Hartpury to come back and respond. Adamson goes for goal. Adamson, oh, it's against the post. Panias might have got a touch to it. Very nearly a third for Helvecia. Hartpury now, I'm sure, will be wishing they hadn't used their timeout when they did at 1-0 up. Helvecia will want this to continue. Great challenge from Tune to begin with. And Panias, yeah, she did get a touch on it to divert that one away from goal and against the post. Grove, loose pass. Martins on a hat-trick now. Had Adamson to the right, but it breaks back anyway for Kemp. Adamson, Kemp's an option again. Helvecia corner. Kemp. Martins. She's proved too hot to handle so far for the Hartpury defence. Kemp on this kick in here for Helvecia. Really dominating now. Oh, the London side. Adamson. Corner. Really does just go to illustrate how quickly the tide can turn. They say that goals change games, and they certainly do, and so often lead to others. And that's been the case here. Tune just miscued. But she's starting to come into her own now and flow freely, as we are so used to her doing so. Kemp does well to win the ball back, but then gets the shot just wrong. Wide of the far post. Tune herself will also have to adapt today because of the... Well, we'll come back to that in a moment, because here's Martins. It was a poor distribution. Here's Adamson. Adamson and cleared away. Well, that time it had to be by Holdsworth. So kick in for Helvecia. Tune. Excellent play again at the back there for Helvecia in the fixed roll. Tune. It's just illustrating that she'll probably have to adapt to today's game as well, because of the great chemistry which she usually has with Charlotte Gurr. Gurr, of course, not here today for Helvecia. Whether that will impact Tune's game at all. Those two long-time teammates and seem to know each other inside out, exactly where the other is going to be. Kemp. Across to Martins. Martins on a hat-trick still. Misfires that time though. Got that one all wrong. 6 minutes left to play in this first period. Helvecia still with their timeout if boss Enrique Guillen opts to use it. Just wonder whether sometimes it's a little predictable what Grove is trying to do. Don't get me wrong, she's very good at what she does do with the play in which she holds up as the central pivot and bringing others into play, looking to turn and shoot on the spin, but so far Emma Toon has been wise to it. Jack Tyson, the Hartpury coach, somebody who knows very much about playing in the pivot role for the Hartpury club. His role has somewhat changed a little bit this season though. He's been a little bit more adaptable, passing on knowledge, I'm sure, to the women's team as they continue to grow and develop in the women's top flight. It's fired direct for goal, of course couldn't have gone straight in from the kick in, so proved to be wasteful in the end anyway. Toon with a good pass forward there to Martins. Martins picks up the loose ball. Here's Kemp, she'll unleash for goal again. It breaks back here for Beckford. Beckford gets the corner. It came back off Panniers, who did enough to deal with Kemp's initial strike but didn't push the ball away from goal. That allowed for the rebound opportunity. Overturn on the corner, which of course is the goal clearance when the corner's not taken correctly, like it wasn't there. Saw that a few times in the first game actually as well. Overturns of kick-ins and other set pieces. Here's Grimond, who made a good stop there, forward to Priscilla Martins. Martins just slows things down a little bit, perhaps wisely. Beckford across to Tube. Kemp against Wathen, and the secondary ricochet, taking it back off Rebecca Kemp. Unfortunate.
Thanks, Matt.
Referee from the near side just coming across there to the timekeeper on the far side, Rodriguez Ballinger, to indicate a rolling foul, which takes us on to 2 against Helvecia. Holsworth skips away from the first challenge. Kicking for London Helvecia as they bring their goalkeeper Alicia Grimond forward into the attacking half again. Chuno picks a good pass which bypasses Grimond. Beckford couldn't make anything of it. It was very direct and straightforward from Tune. Grove that time gets the better of Tune and forces the goalkeeper down to make a good save. Probably one which Grimond would expect to make. It needed stopping. Here's Kemp at the other end. And into the side netting. Hear the call from the Helvecia coach on the sidelines to engage with the press on trigger, and there it breaks from Martins. It's a good save. It's a good save again by Panniers. Both goalkeepers being called into ever-increasing accuracy again. The referee once more indicating the rolling foul. It's 2-1 now in that regard. Priscilla Martins, the player who scored both Helvecia's goal to make the all-important scoreboard 2-1, nearly adding a third. Three and a half minutes left on the clock. Helvecia will be looking to take this lead into half-time if they can't go on to add to it.
Big whistle, mate. I saw you weren't.
Kemp allowed to advance. Kemp that time couldn't control though. It's an uncharacteristic error from Tune with the misplaced pass.
Let's keep the ball moving, please.
Set piece opportunity which have been relatively few and far between for Hartpury in this first half. Look to maybe work the free in the line. Holsworth forward to Grove. It's worked well too. Nobody at the back stick there though, as Grove opted for that particular option instead of maybe a cutback, which could also have been on. Probably the closest that Hartpury have come since Helvecia's turnaround. He did test Grimond once, but it was a relatively comfortable save. That time, if anybody's there at the back stick, it's 9 out of 10 times going to be turned in. Out of play on the far side for a Helvecia kick in. Kemp. Forward again goes Kemp, and it was blocked away right in the goalmouth area. The initial signal from the near side official was for a goal clearance there, but overall by the first official on the far side, Mark Patchell. Obviously got the corner. Tune comfortable under pressure across the Kemp. I doubt that Hartpury will change their defensive style at half-time like we saw Southampton do in the first game. And if you missed it, Bolton did pick up the 3 points in that opening game today. 4-3 was the scoreline in their win over Southampton. Through the legs of the goalkeeper, there's 3-1. It's Sasha Adamson for London Helvecia,
Number 12, Sasha Adamson.
with her first appearance of this season and her first goal of it too. Distance between the teams on the scoreboard now. Helvecia have themselves a healthy looking cushion. All too easy though really from a Hartpury perspective as they come forward down the other end of the court. They'll be disappointed with the way in which Helvecia were just able to cut through them there, but it is hard mentally as much as physically defending for such a long period of time against a side like Helvecia when you've only got 5 players. Hartpury though could really do with one back before the break. Holsworth leaves that on the line for Wathen, then forward to Holsworth, nice kick in, across it goes to Grove, excellent goal. Really well worked from the set piece there for Hartpury. And they do get a goal back before the break. 3-2.
Goal for Hartpury. Number 7,
Jade Grove the scorer, but that was all about the pre-planned kick in. Really nice move, with Holsworth initially leaving the ball on the line. And Grove was on hand to apply the finishing touches. That will lift the Hartpury spirits. Good game this now. Short from Grimond there to Adamson. Scorer of the third Helvecia goal, Kemp.
No, he said it takes 2 to nail this. Not sure which part's the other one now.
Last minute to play of this first half. Helvecia's lead now reduced to just the 1 goal. Grimond sees it out for a kick-in. Would have much, I'm sure, preferred the goal clearance, albeit probably won't matter because Hartpury will drop off to half-court anyhow. Sometimes difficult to escape from these sorts of kick-ins when teams press high, but as you can see, Grove there leading the pack for Hartpury. Back inside her own half anyway. Helvecia bring it forward with Tune. Grove there with a back to goal again. Forward here for Holsworth and across in search of Grove too. It was just behind her run.
26 seconds.
But Hartpury have really upped the tempo and began to turn the screw at the end of this first period. Just in the last couple of minutes since they conceded their third goal, really. It's been a good response.
20 seconds.
Kemp, overlapping run is there of Adamson. Out to behind though for a corner. With 14 seconds left on the clock until the midway point. It's high from Grimond, the Helvecia goalkeeper. Last few seconds of the first half, and there goes the buzzer to signal the end of it. Helvecia with a very slender, narrow lead going into the midway point. It's 3-2 after the first 20 minutes, with a couple of goals from Priscilla Martins and Sasha Adamson, seeing them just edge out that first 20 minutes. Hartpury, though, still very much in this. There's the half-time score. It's London Helvecia 3, Hartpury 2.
back out here for the second half of the National Cycling Centre. Helvecia leading 3-2. Second half, all to play for.
Welcome back then for the second half of today's second game, and it is the final game to round off today's action in the Women's Tier 1 of the National Futsal Series. It's 3-2 to London Helvecia at half-time after goals in that first half from Priscilla Martins twice and Sasha Adamson for Helvecia. The Hartpury goal scorers, Amy Wathen, got the games first when Hartpury did lead early on, and Jade Grove pulling one back to make it 3-2 in what was a really well-worked goal from the kick-in just towards the end of that first 20 minutes. So 20 minutes still in store for you. That kick-in is taken how it shouldn't be, right down beneath the nose of the referee. Was never going to get away with that one there, Adamson. Martins does well there to win the ball back. Adamson to the right. Good though from Page to nip him well and win it back. It was a fair shot, goal bound. Amy Wathen, it was, a beg your pardon. Not Lauren Page who won that back, but either way it was a good effort on goal and a good save as well from Grimmond. Hartpury corner. And they will be looking to come out strong at the start of this second period, having had time to just rest at half-time more than anything else, I would presume. It's always going to be given for the foul on the attempted block by Grove, but definitely crossed the thin line of what is or isn't a foul. Free kick then here for Helvecia. First foul of the half. Martins with the kick in. Back to Kemp. She settled in well in that first half on debut for Helvecia today. Tune here forward to Martins. Martins. Ball starting to turn back though. And the pass was wayward of Sasha Adamson, just tracking back on the near side. Holsworth, good hold-up play. Helvecia's levels will presumably drop in this second half as well. They, remember, only have the one substitute, which is hardly going to help much more than Hartpury with just the 5 players. Long ball forward over the top, Holsworth's there. Back to Holsworth again. Holsworth, well defended though by Tune. Hartpury with the corner. Let's see if they can work this corner set piece as well as they did their final attacking kick-in in that first half. It's taken in towards Wathen, but nothing coming of it that time. Holsworth felt it should have been another corner, but Helvecia get the favourable decision. Kemp up to Martins. Kemp. Martins happy there to go back to Kemp again. There's Tune against Lauren Page that time, and Helvecia will have a corner of their own. Enrique Guillen, certainly the more vocal of the two teams' coaches. Still he's barking out orders from the far side touchline. Martins. Helvecia with the kick-in. Tyson there, you can see, for Hartpury taking much more of a relaxed view. Watching on as the lone member of the Hartpury bench.
Closer, Amy, closer.
Nicely controlled by Grove.
Well done, unlucky.
Helvecia kicking, much to the dismay of Hartpury's Grove.
Good run, Sammy. Good run.
I did.
Tune flicks that one forward to Martins. Tune again, happy to set back that time for Priscilla Martins. Now Kemp doesn't need asking twice to unleash. We saw her take on shooting opportunities from similar distance down the other end of the court in that first half, and obliged again when wasn't closed down that time. Holsworth back across the face of goal. Kemp had to deal with it. Martins up to Kemp, but she wasn't able to keep it in.
Do with an extra 20 degrees on that.
Come on, Amy. In the middle, Rebecca in the middle.
Well done, Jade. Well done, Jade. Go on, Jade.
Grove tries to turn away from Kemp. Martins goes back to Tune.
Drop in. That's you, Lauren. Jade now out. Jade. Drop. Diagonal, Lauren. Drop.
Back across the face of goal. Oh, it's in! Well, it's a calamitous moment at the back for Hartpury.
OG.
It was a touch off Amy Warthen, which took it through the legs of goalkeeper Panniers.
Number 12, Sasha Adamson.
Well, it's announced as an Adamson goal by the event MC, but I think that one will have to go down as an own goal. Through the legs there of Hartpury's goalkeeper Panniers. She couldn't do anything to keep it out. Not one that Hartpury will want to see back, and what a way that is for them to gift Helvecia's 2-goal lead back to them. (4-2), and Helvecia will feel a lot better about things now.
Jade, your top. That's it now, Lauren. One out. Come on, Lauren.
Kemp here again with the kicking. Back for Martins. Hartpury ball. They did well in responding in the first half when they went 2 goals down, 3-1 that was. And they'll be hoping to do the same again. They'll have to do the same again here, if they are to go on to pick up at least a point. But it looks unlikely now after that 4th Helvecia goal. Still have a quarter of an hour playing time left on the clock. Martins, nice footwork. Here's Adamson. Adamson, that one's deflected as well, but trickles wide of Panniers' far post. Helvecia, though, really with a firm control on the game. They're playing the game at the pace that they want it played at. Tune. Adamson trickles that one through to Panniers, but she's comfortable collecting that time. Tune only and dispossessed them though by Holsworth. Grove back across to Holsworth. Oh, she skied it. How on earth has that not gone in? Well, that really should be 4-3. Great play initially from Holsworth to feed the ball up to Grove. Grove did the exact right thing in playing the pass across. How she missed that. Not one that she'll want to see back, and 4-3 would have changed the picture of the whole game again. Here's Grove though, looking maybe to take it upon herself this time, but in the end it's through only to Grimond, and Helvecia can breathe again. Big let off though there for Enrique Guillen's side. It was a nice link-up play between Grove and Sammy Holsworth, but the latter just couldn't apply the all-important finishing touches. Referee there blows his whistle for a foul against Holsworth. Looked like a soft one. Holsworth's arguing her case. Kemp was certainly sent spinning, tumbling to the ground, but thought initially the ball had been won cleanly. Kemp happy there to take the free kick across. That's 2 fouls now in the half, both of those going against Hartpury. Again, it nearly ricocheted through the legs of Panniers, but she's happy to take that one that time.
Come on, Jade. Well done, Amy. Drop in, sets up. Inside the back post, Sammy, inside.
Adamson with the corner. And he's straight to Grove though. Grove will break away here, and support arriving to her left with Lauren Page. Couldn't find her though, and Helvecia have it again. Beckford just overran the ball though. That's happening more and more now for both teams, just those loose touches to give possession away, and both sides will want to cut that out of their game. Page up to Grove, but Grove that time was unable to control. Here she is now though, back inside her own half. Wathen, nice ball up to Holsworth. Out of play, and again Holsworth felt it took a touch. Probably more of a hope for last than anything else though that time. June, it was kept in well by Adamson. Beckford across to the right side for Kemp, but she then smashes the ball wide of the near post. It stays at 4-2. London Helvecia, take a look again at that. Opted to take the strike on first time there, Kemp, but not able to hit the target that time. Just hasn't quite come for her yet, that all-elusive goal. Grove frustrated with the way in which that one flashes wide. It's a couple of chances now that Hartpury have had to bring it back to 4-3. Kemp again, it's well cut out though. Up next for London Helvecia, they'll face Bedford away in the Women's Cup. Their next league fixture is a really big one. It's a repeat of last year's final, in fact, when they were beaten in that final by Birmingham. That game to take place on the 25th of March, when the National Futsal Series heads to York. And that game will be live on BT Sport as well. Ball here to Grove. Oh, it's over the bar. That's another chance for Hartpury, and another chance which has come and gone for them. Helvecia not keeping the door locked well enough though. Warning signs should be flashing on their radar. Better direction on the finish there, and that very well could have been 4-3. Good save there by Panniers. The game's probably too open from a Helvecia point of view. Given the fact that Hartpury are still defending half course, Helvecia can just take control of this game if they keep possession inside their own half and then choose when to bring the ball forward in attack. Panniers didn't get that clearance right, but it does ricochet out of Adamson. Wathen feeds the ball up there to Grove, but that time wasn't quite on the same page as her teammates to the left. Time for Helvecia take the kick in once more. Tune up to Adamson. Adamson nicely controlled by Beckford. She sets it across for Kemp again, but it's the same outcome. Just not quite coming at the moment for Rebecca Kemp in way of shots on goal. Panniers was happy to see that one over her crossbar. Hartpury in possession, but right on cue they've given the ball away, and
Go on, Lauren, get there. Go on, Amy.
Helvecia have the opportunity to build again, but it's another overturn of possession.
Man on. Amy, step.
This is better though for Hartpury. Grove taking the game to Helvecia a little more now, but they have lost out, and it could be a 2v1, 2v2 as Holsworth puts in a good defensive recovery. And makes a good interception with the block on the diagonal pass to Grove. Only against the upright though of the Helvecia captain.
Well done, Lauren.
Coming up to 10 minutes.
Well done.
Kicking again here then for Hartpury. Next goal in the game, if it is to come soon, would really be a crucial one. Ball definitely rolling onto the court, and they're not going to get away with that. 4 seconds is a longer time than perhaps people sometimes realise, and I certainly think Walden had time there to readjust and place the ball back on the line. Even if the kicking ends up just being a reset back to play out in possession, it's got to be better than an overturn like that. Into the final 10 minutes now. 3-2 Helvecia it was at the break, and that strange own goal which went through the legs of the Hartpury captain Panniers. It's meant that it's now 4-2 moving into this final quarter.
Amy, closer there. Amy, the other player.
Grove allowed to turn that time, forward for Holsworth.
Trouble.
Brumman called into action, and
Well done, Sammy.
despite the half chances that Hartpury have created in addition to the huge one that they had with Holsworth, Drummond hasn't really been tested in this second half. She hasn't had to make a continuous amount of saves really. And her influence on the game has probably reduced in the way of coming out to play with possession in a 5v4 also. She might have some work to do here though from the Hartpury corner. Nice block that time, back to Grove. Blocked away though well by Tune. So much better execution on the block
First time if you can. First time.
by Amy Walden that time. Grove it was who last time was penalised for the moving block, but Walden that time just holding her ground, that's the difference. Holsworth again leaves this kicking to be taken forward, trying to work a similar routine to the one which proved to be a route to goal for them in the first half, but not quite coming off that time. Both sides do still have their timeouts if they wish to use them in this half, and imagine at least one of those would be used. Helvecia opted against using those in the theirs in the first half. In fact, just Hartpury who took theirs after 9 minutes. We're into the final 9 now. Adamson again pulled up for that.
Jade, higher. You go.
It's just frustrating to see when that happens,
Go on, roll.
because it's such an unforced error and
Yeah.
bring pressure on them, and it has done. Jade Grove on the turn with another trademark goal. Excellent spin, an excellent finish too. That time Tune couldn't hold her up enough, and it is 4-3. Hartpury do strike next. Well, I said that the next goal might prove to be a big one. It could be. It's 4-3. Helvecia now do feel the need to call their timeouts. It's a sign of the concern, perhaps, for the London team and Enrique Guillen. Immediately handed in that timeout card as soon as Jade Grove's shot beat his goalkeeper Grimmond and hit the back of the net. Jade Grove with her 12th goal of the season now. It's really good going for Hartpury in the women's top flight this season. Superb numbers. Really is so important to the way that they play and causes so many defenders so many problems. 12 goals in the league is really impressive. That takes her 4 clear of any other player in the women's top flight this season now. Sarah Hazel of Birmingham is second on that list with 8 goals. Birmingham of course not playing today, and Helvecia with the opportunity to draw level on points with them, but Hartpury I'm sure will have other ideas. And it's game back on now with 8 minutes and 36 seconds left to be exact on the clock.
Quickly on the corner. Rebecca. Emma. Take it.
Diagonal behind you, Sammy.
Tune still Hartpury defending inside their own half. That will have to change at some point, but it doesn't have to change yet. And Helvecia, I'm sure, will want to go on and restore their 2-goal advantage again. All the way back from the corner to Grimmond. Tune, who's played every single minute of this one so far. Majority of Helvecia substitutes have been switching Adamson, Kemp and Beckford, with Martins, Tune and of course goalkeeper Grimmond playing all of the minutes so far. Back to Kemp, neat play, Kemp again, good block, still there though, and into the corner. 5-3, and Helvecia are again to the good here. It's Sasha Adamson.
Number 12, Sasha Adamson.
She has her 2nd goal today. And that's what Helvecia can do to teams. Just when Hartpury had their tails up, just when they began to think that they could bring this one back, Helvecia hit them hard again. 5-3. Referee's whistle goes there for a foul against Helvecia. It's the first that they've committed in the half. But it's the timing of the goals really for Helvecia which have proved to be the big key factor for them today. They've just really halted any momentum that Hartpury have tried to build.
Enjoy the ball if you can. Enjoy it. Play.
Go, Amy.
That's it. Good cut. Jake's there. Go on, Lauren. Well in.
Wathen couldn't
Keep going.
quite find her teammates ahead of her that time. And Helvecia will settle things down again. Now there's no real obligation for Helvecia to bring it forward and try to go for more, but they will.
Well done. Go on, Jake. You can get that. Middle. Cover the middle.
Adamson, the latest scorer,
Well done.
blocked away by Wathen.
Time. Relax.
Long down court back to Grimmond.
No line. Go on, Jake. Middle. That's it. Amy, you can go now. Follow.
Martins back to Panniers, and she'll look to start a potential attack on the transition for Hartpury. Grove back to her again. Grove checks away from Tune.
Double.
Out of play, Hartpury kicking.
Well done. Set up.
Amy, follow the run.
Sammy, get her to set Jade and use the first line to get off her.
Wathen will fire that one into a crowd of bodies, and the last touch there bouncing back off Grove. Forward for Helvecia, up to Martins and back to Tune.
Right shoulder, Sammy. Right shoulder. Go on, Sammy, you get that.
Nice sweeping pass across from Tune. Played that really well first time. Adamson again. It's turned away by Panniers, but only into the danger zone. Grove definitely fouled.
Well done.
There might be a yellow card as well for Emma Tune, and will the referee
Well done.
see the honesty in the challenge?
Sorry, mate, I got it.
There was a yellow card shown there in the midst of that to Emma Tune. She becomes the first player cautioned in the game today. First player cautioned today, in fact. There were no yellow cards in the opening game.
Go on, Evie. Get that.
Confirmation of that Emma Tune yellow card. But I'm sure she won't mind too much if her side do go on to pick up the win here.
And when the ball goes there, you go and press, but protect the middle first.
Definitely not me for that.
Yeah, that's okay, Emma, that's okay.
All the way over the top that time to Grove, but Tune does well in the follow-up play to win it back.
No diagonal. Watch that one. Jade out. You're out, Jade. Middle.
Martins
Middle. Go on.
into Kemp. It opens up again for her. Was unselfish that time in trying to play the pass to Martins. Panniers did enough. Maybe just felt that her luck is out today. Rebecca Kemp for the Helvecia debut goal. I think it was a pass, or meant to be a pass for Martins, but Panniers called into action either way. Kemp again, still going. Smashed clear onto the far side by Holsworth.
Sasha, let Rebecca take it.
Drop in. Get ready. Set up. Go on, Jade. Go on, Jade. Sammy, you can go now. Middle. Diagonal, Lauren. Drop right shoulder. There you go. Well done.
Tune up to Martins, still on a hat-trick after those 2 goals in the first half.
You've got one.
Hasn't been able to add to that tally yet, though. She's in there this time. Martins trying to win it back. Last touch comes off Priscilla Martins, and Hartpury will resume from the goalkeeper. 5 minutes to play.
Gotta help her. Gotta help her.
Grove in need of support. Back to Holsworth. Good play again from the Hartpury pivot. Good turn as well, and tried to feed it back into the path of Holsworth. Just came a little too soon as it flashed past Sammy Holsworth.
Next time. Come on. Diagonal, Sammy. Diagonal, Sammy. Come on, Jade. You get that. Middle, follow. That's it. Now you, Lauren. Well done, Sammy. Middle, Lauren. Follow. That's it.
4.5 minutes left on the clock now.
Well done, Amy.
5-3 is the score to London Helvecia.
Amy, next time.
Red timeout coming up.
Out, out.
Kemp lofts it high for a potential volley for Tune. Opted though to just bring the ball down. Martins back to Tune, and she goes for goal. Flashes wide again. And here Hartpury will use their second half timeout. And something needs to change now for Hartpury. This is probably the stage at which they have to go and try to take the game to Helvecia. Whether they'll possibly think about just changing tactic in defence, I'd imagine so. Rebecca Panny is not really a likely option to come out and play as a fly goalkeeper. Of course, they don't have any substitutes available to switch with Panniers in goal. Fortunate in that way that they haven't picked up any injury concerns today. Else they'd be out there playing with just 4. But I'd imagine it would be a case of just, look, you've got to go out and press now. From Jack Tyson, 2 goals down, let's go for it. And Helvecia will be prepared for that. but very much now the favourites to go on and collect the 3 points from this position. Just a reminder then that we do have 4 games in store for you tomorrow in the men's Tier 1. I'll be back here tomorrow commentating on all 4 of those, and I'll be joined by Louis Melville in the commentary box for those 4 men's Tier 1 fixtures. Really looking forward to those. We still have just over 4 minutes left to play in the final game of the women's Tier 1 fixtures this weekend. Shot on the spin, goal bound there by Grove, is palmed behind by Grimmond. There've also been some Women's Cup action this weekend. Bloomsbury, notable side in action last night with a win over Stevenage in the Women's Cup. That one's turned goal bound there by Grove. Well dealt with though, and here's Kemp. Excellent challenge by Wathen. Wathen back to her feet really quickly. Wathen still, it's an equally good sliding challenge by June, who was maybe just tempted into that after seeing what Wathen had done to her side. And both blocks were really well executed. Had to be timed to perfection, especially Tunes, plunging in on a yellow card. It was more of a block though really than a sliding tackle. Helvecia trying to anticipate that 3 in a line there from the corner for Hartpury. Hartpury managed to just squeeze it through. It will be another set piece. Holsworth short to Grove. Good turn by Grove. Oh, it's deflected. Not far away after the deflection. Could have ended up anywhere. Grimmond had to readjust. Grove proving too much to handle that time for Adamson. And it needed saving that from Grimmond. Never easy to save a deflected strike like that. Grimmond, though, there was up to the task. Board the Page, but she couldn't bring the ball under her spell. Will this one then just dwindle out to its conclusion? Or will there be a grandstand finish? Can Hartpury go on to get something from this fixture? Nice play into Kemp, just took a heavy touch at the wrong moment though. Martin still lurking. Page can only prod the ball out of play on the far side and proves to be more of a reset than anything else for Hartpury. Just over 3 minutes left on the clock. All through the legs of Holsworth, but Martins had made the run to the second post. Martins places the ball on the line and correctly takes the kick in that time. Tune all the way across over onto the right flank with Sasha Adamson. Martins asking the question of the referees as to whether that took a touch on its way out, but we will restart from the goalkeeper. Paniers rolls it short. Bar the one which somewhat unfortunately evaded her through her legs today. Rebecca Paniers, she's stood up to the task well, back in goal to replace Katie Christopher. Made a great save in that first half. But 5 goals have gone past her since. Not much that she can really do about the other 4 though. And the intensity needs to go up a notch or 2 here for Hartpury. That's a difficult ask, given their depleted squad. Martins just running out of room, it's out of play. Grove with the runner to the right in Holsworth. Holsworth here. Behind for the corner. Into the final couple of minutes. It's getting to the stage of now or never for Hartpury. We saw in the first game today Southampton bring it back to just the 1-goal deficit at 4-3, but it was too little too late for them in the end. Here's Kemp. Adamson to the left. Kemp drags it across the face of goal, but it was wide of the back stick and too far ahead of Asher Adamson's run. Forward for Holsworth. She controls initially, but then Tune did well. Seemed to be caught there as well, Tune, but Helvecia allowed to continue. Kemp just puts her foot on the ball to control the tempo of the game again. Helvecia with every passing second that the ball's in play, edging ever closer. They've given it away there though to Grove. She's not the player that they want to give it away to. Poor return ball though from Holsworth, which is probably a sign of the fatigue. And it does look as though the game is just dwindling out now. Any spark of hope of a potential Hartpury comeback fading away with every passing second.
Yes. Minute we go.
Tune. Neat ball up to Beckford. She couldn't quite though then find the runner to the right. Tune just 30 seconds now. Beckford to finish it off for Adamson. Smashes it high and wide, but it shouldn't matter in the greater scheme of things. Helvecia will be going level on points with Birmingham at the top of the table, albeit they will stay second on goal difference. It has been a pleasing day for London Helvecia and Enrique Guillen, who I'm sure will still demand more of his side. Hasn't been one-sided by any stretch of the imagination. There's a half chance there for Page. Behind from Tune for the corner, 11 seconds. Even if Hartpury can score now, would probably prove to be too little too late, like it was for Southampton earlier. Wathen. Smashed goal bound, but smashed wide by Grove. Number 7 off target that time. And with just 7 seconds left, it's a formality of the final closing moments. Full time then. London Helvecia pick up another 3 points to take them level on points with Birmingham at the top of the table. 5-3 is the final score. Emma Tune with a great captain's display to lead her side to victory today. A couple of goals from Sasha Adamson on her first appearance this season, and Priscilla Martins with a first half brace as well. The own goal was the 5th for Helvecia also. Hartpury gave it their all with just the 5 players. It was always going to be a difficult ask. London Helvecia with the 1 substitute available. It proved maybe to be the difference between the teams today. 5-3 and London Helvecia march on. Here's how the 2 fixtures have finished today then. Confirmation of the results in the women's Tier 1 games today. Bolton overcoming Southampton Aztecs by 4-3 in game 1, and as we've just seen there, London Helvecia beating Hartpury 5-3. Thank you very much for joining us today. I do hope you've enjoyed the 2 women's Tier 1 games that we've brought to you live from the National Cycling Centre in Manchester. We will be back tomorrow for 4 games from the men's Tier 1 side of things. We're really looking forward to those. It's a really tasty lineup in actual fact on the card for tomorrow. First kickoff is bright and early at 10 AM tomorrow. Be sure to join us then. Thank you and goodbye.
This